Okay, welcome everyone to this week's Elite Bloonarius guide. So this week we're playing on Winter Park. This is again a chill map like we usually have. We have either beginner or intermediate maps, but then again, this whole thing, Elite Bloonarius, it is a challenge for some people. But definitely this week's guide is going to be, and this week's Elite Bloonarius, I'd say, is a lot easier than the previous ones, than some of the previous weeks. Now, in this one, we're going to use a very interesting farming strategy that I just wanted to switch things up. I wanted to stop doing the farms and the banks and stuff like that. So we're going to be using Druid Farming actually, and that thing is busted. That thing is so good. You guys are going to see how much money we're going to be making in the mid game. But, talking about the strategy and how we're starting off. So we're starting off with our free Dark Monkey, which is, the same thing that we usually do. Not spending any cash, but getting some defenses up and then going to the banana farm. Now, the positioning of these things is on the banana farms on the right. That's where we're going to be doing most of the farming. So the positioning is very important. Well, you don't have to have perfect pixel positioning, not at all, but just make sure to be placing the farms and the banana farmers like I'm going to be placing them. Later on, though, we're going to be using some powers, and that is, I'm not going to be using, by the way, any DPS powers, stuff like that. I'm just going to be using tech bots, because Druid farming, tech bots are, I guess, something that, the banana farmers would be to the normal farms, right? So they collect the bananas, and then we are going to use the tech bots to automatically click the abilities. Again, none of these tech bots or whatever you're using is necessary, so you can go without them. You can keep clicking yourself. But I just didn't want to do that, and it's something that makes life a lot easier. So definitely nothing to help out with the DPS, no cheating and stuff like that, but we're gonna be using the tech bots to automate the whole thing. So what's happening on screen is just the banana farm. We have the dark, we bought Gwen, and now I'm going to be placing the first druid. So the farming is going to be very simple. If you guys don't know how this thing works, it's basically we're surrounding the druids with banana farms, and these are going to be, first off, we're going to be starting with some low tier banana farms, because the druids don't care how upgraded your farms are. They just make money by the amount of farms that are around them. So I'm going to be upgrading this druid to 010 to help out a little bit with the DPS, and then I'm going to upgrade this farm to 200. So we've been, playing up until this point with this Dark Monkey being as 000. So it's time to get our defenses up a little bit, getting him up to 023, and the Dart is on last to fully use its spears. So I'm just going to keep buying more farms, and these are going to be base farms, so straight up 000 farms, all of these new ones at least. I'm going to buy, I think, 4 or 5 more 000 farms, and then we're going to be getting the Druid up to 041. So Druid farming is actually, I knew that it was very good, I knew that it was very strong, but I didn't know it was this busted actually. So none of these Bloonarius rounds, bosses, tiers, however you want to call them, nothing is going to be close. We're going to have so much money that we are, again, as usual, I'm over farming, but this is just going to be next level. Nothing is going to be close. We're going to be spending a lot of money on all of these bosses, and we are going to beat them no problem. So a total of, how much is that? That's like 8 farms on screen. 3 of those farms are 200, and the rest are base farm 000. And now I'm just saving up money for the Jungle's Bounty. So that is going to be a 031 druid that is going to go to 041. And now I'm going to buy the tech bot, and I'm just going to hook it up. So click it, click the tech bot, click the tower, and that's it. It's going to activate the ability automatically whenever it's off cooldown. So I'm going to be getting the tag shooter. I'm going to be doing the same thing, because the map is kind of similar to what we had last week, right? It was in the loop, but this thing is not going to work as well, and that's because the way that the blades rotate when you use the ability, it's clockwise, and then it's in the same direction which the blues are coming out. So basically we're gonna need a little bit of an extra help for that thing. So getting another druid, that's druid number 2041, and now I'm buying the third druid. The number of farms is the same, and make sure to be upgrading the range so that it's gonna register that all of these farms are around the druid. So I got the tag shooter. It is a 240 tag shooter. I'm hooking up these guys. So I bought the last druid to 041, and now we're gonna be doing the sorry, it was a 230 tag shooter that is now going to be upgraded to 240, getting the ninja. And something that you guys should note is that on round 42, which is now, you should use Gwen's cocktail for the camo balloons. This is just a precaution, just to be safe. And getting the ninja sticky bomb, and then getting a 310 alchemist next to the tag shooter. Now I had to make a cutscene because I accidentally clicked another button and I missed my ability button. But nevertheless, you know, doing the same thing that we usually would do. So we're using the ability when the ceramic rushes are next to our attack shooter. But this time we're going to buy a 410 ice, and this is going to help out with two things. First thing is that our camo is kind of limited, and second is that we have a nice little circle there. Well, it's not kind of circle, it's kind of a square, right, in which these balloons are going to intersect. So this thing is going to do a lot of damage basically, because they're lining up very nicely for it. So getting one more druid, that is druid number 4. Everything is hooked up to the tech bots, which is making them automatically use the abilities, and we're basically chilling. So that is the whole defense that we have. Same thing as we did last week. If you were here last week, then you know what is kind of happening. So another 041 druid, and this is the last one, and we're gonna chill for now. So next thing that we're gonna be doing after we pop this thing is we're gonna be moving into more farms, but the power of the druids, you're gonna be able to see it in the next few rounds, I guess. So I'm using the cocktail now to kind of help out with these ceramics. Well, it's not necessary, but we don't want to overwhelm our towers at the back. And I'm getting a 204 tag shooter. Now I'm getting this tag shooter because we want to be popping the rounds as early as possible, and also we don't want to put a lot of strain on these towers at the back, right? So it's a 204 tag shooter, and I got a 320 village, and I got another farm there at the top right, and I noticed that this farm is not getting well, it's not, the bananas from it are not getting picked up from the banana farmer, so I just bought another one. So after we dealt with this guy with the Bloonarius, we are going to sell the ice tower, and I'm just gonna keep upgrading these farms to 420. So all of these abilities are hooked up to obviously use the abilities to druids. Actually are hooked up to the tech bots, so everything is being automated at this point. You don't have to do anything, and these tech bots, by the way, they're going to be super useful later on, because we are going to hook them to the overclock. So our towers are going to be getting automatically overclocked. We're going to hook it to the village, so village ability is going to be used automatically, and basically we're just gonna watch some of these tiers get evaporated basically, and without doing anything. So these tech bots are actually a lifesaver, but you know, we usually do the no powers thing, we don't want to use the powers, but in this case, because we're doing the druid farming, we kind of want to do it. So a lot of money going around, that is primarily because of the druids. And so the thing that I'm doing next is I'm getting a 042 darting gunner, which I kind of microed it a little bit. I suggest you guys micro it to just get the rounds going as fast as possible. And then at the back I got a 502 Glaive Lord. So now I'm kind of saving up money for the mat, and you can kind of see what I'm trying to do with this defense. So I'm using the mat to pop the Bloonarius layer. Bloonarius is going to release BFBs, and then we're going to help out, you know, this Glaive Lord a little bit by focusing. We're going to micro with the Darting Gunner, so we're going to focus it down to hit Bloonarius and everything that's coming out of it, and then this Glaive Lord at the back is going to just be able to destroy everything. So getting the mat now just in a second, and this HP you guys are gonna see it's going on pretty fast. But also make sure to be helping out your Glaive Lord, right? So you don't want to be leaving everything to him. I mean, he can take care of it, but just help him out a little bit, you know, and use the Darting Gunner ability if you wanted to, or if you needed to actually. So while all of this is happening, don't forget to keep farming. So keep buying those 420 farms, very important. We're obviously going to be sacrificing all of them to the Monkeyopolis. And that is basically it. We're just waiting for this entire thing to end. We're kind of microing our Darting Gunner, and we are trying to use the ability if necessary. So when this guy pops, I'm going to be selling the Darting Gunner, and I'm going to be selling the Boomerang, so the 502 Glaive Lord, and I'm going to buy the Tag Zone. The Tag Zone is going to be everything we need to basically keep us alive up until the 80s, and we're going to keep it actually for a while. And with the money that we got from selling those two towers, we are going to be buying basically everything up to 420, and we're going to get one more new farm. So in total we have 10 420 farms, and I just got a 420 alchemist with Tag Zone just to be safe. Now we need to overclock the village, obviously, so the village is going to be where the druids are currently. And if you placed, you know, everything correctly, that's why I mentioned at the start, you kind of want to place things down as I'm placing them, so you have this space in which you're supposed to place the village. So we're getting the engineer, and then I'm going to start selling these druids. I'm going to get the village in the middle of everything, and I'm just going to buy the Monkeyopolis. So that is, and of course don't forget to overclock it before you buy it, right? So getting the Monkeyopolis, that's 10 farms inside of it, and now going for a 4-0 banana farm, which is going to be a 5-0. So we're not worried about any bloons that are coming out, right? Everything is simple. This tag zone with the alchemist, with the village, they're destroying everything, and now we're just going for a 5-0 banana farm. Okay, so 5-0 banana farm, that thing is up, and now we're going for the temple. Now the positioning of the super monkey is very important. We want to have it in the water, so I'm getting a 0-4-1 snowstorm, and we want to have the ice monkey, the super monkey towards the left corner, left bottom corner, so that when we do the sacrifices, we don't accidentally sacrifice the Monkeyopolis on the right. But then also try to make sure you don't sacrifice the tag zone as well. So if your tag zone is positioned nicely, then it's not gonna be sacrificed in the first sacrifice, right, when we're doing the temple. So from our sacrifices, we're doing the Archmage from the magic ones. That's gonna be a 502 wizard. We have the 4-0 alchemist that we bought for the texture, so that thing's gonna get sacrificed as well. We bought a 250 boomerang. We had a 0-4-1 ice that we got for the super monkey, and we got a 0-2-5 mortar, which is from the military ones, and that is basically all we're gonna need. And now these rounds are advancing very fast. As you can see, we're popping them as soon as they come. So there we go. That's the temple sacrifice. A pretty nice timing on the temple. And now we're just doing the basic things. So now I manually switched the overclock to overclock the temple now that we have it up, and we're gonna hook it up to a tech bot again, and it's just gonna keep overclocking it until the rest of the game basically. So I got a 2-0 village, I got a 501 permabrew, and now I'm going for the mad. And you know, just doing the regular stuff that we're doing at this point. We've basically won, right? But we just need to buy the towers. And this ending is gonna be a lot faster because I usually only get the Dart Paragon, but in this guide I'm gonna be getting the Boomerang as well. That's gonna be like a degree 20 something Boomerang, but you know, that's gonna happen in a few rounds. So doing the same thing, doing the 501 Ice Tower to amplify the damage, doing a 502 Sniper, which is gonna go on strong, and basically, you know, hooking up these abilities to the village ability. That's a 250 village, which is hooked up to one of the tech bots that we bought for the Druids, right? So everything is finding its use eventually. And make sure to not upgrade the range on the super monkey yet, because we're going to be buying a lot of farms and we don't want to sacrifice, you know, things that they're not meant to be sacrificed. So don't upgrade the range until we get the VTSG. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're just buying a lot of farms. We had our banana farmers that we placed previously, so they're gonna, you know, they're gonna serve their purpose again. We're gonna spam a lot of 4-0 farms. And I'm just spamming, I got a 0-2-5 in the top left corner, and now I'm just spamming 4-0 farms, as many as I can. And then I'm gonna buy one more banana farmer, and after I buy like 3 more 4-0s, I'm gonna be spamming 0-4s just to get the money going. Now this is over farming. You can already tell that this is over farming, but you know, why not? Let's just have everything bought and have everything ready, and then we'll see how they do, right? So our sacrifices are already ready, by the way. So we've got the ice and the tag zone from the primary ones. We have the mad and the 502 sniper from the military ones. We've got the village from the support ones, and we've got the permabrew from the magic ones. So everything is ready to be sacrificed. Again, make sure to not upgrade the range of the temple, because it's gonna sacrifice a lot of these farms, and we don't want that. We want it to make money. So, you know, getting ready for the 050 and the 005 super monkey now. So we're getting ready for the VTSG. Pretty simple. So getting the anti-boom first, getting them down below because that is outside of the range. And while we're here, you know, I'm just using the ability. I'm doing as much damage as possible to this thing. And something that I guess I could give you guys as an advice is to use Gwen's Firestorm ability. And the reason why you want to do that is because whenever you use it, it gives the heated up buff to all the towers on screen, and that buff gives all the towers +1 damage and +2 damage to lead balloons, which also includes DTs. But you know, the overall +1 damage is kind of nice, right? So that's what we're doing. We bought the 5th tier super monkey, so we've got the anti-balloon and the Legend of the Night. Next to the overclock down in the bottom, and now we're just waiting for the money to get the VTSG. And when we get the money, which is going to be right now, we're just going to buy the VTSG, buy the range. Don't forget to buy the range now. And as usual, we're going with the 220 village. We want to give it camo as soon as possible, upgrade that to 250, and then the usual stuff that we do all the time, right? So we're getting the permabrew village, not the permabrew village, but the permabrew alchemist. We're getting the 501 super brittle. We're gonna get the 502 sniper, make sure it's on strong, that's very important. And I'm also gonna get the 250 glue, and I'm gonna hook all of these abilities up to the tech boss that we have, so that, you know, the abilities are gonna keep getting used by themselves. We don't have to do anything at this point, they're just gonna win by themselves, right? And I also upgraded the engineer to 050, so the NG is hooked up to automatically use the ability on the VTSG. So now I'm getting ready for the Dart Paragon and the Boomerang Paragon at the same time. So I'm gonna buy all of the tier 5s first, and then I'm gonna buy a lot of the darts first for the Dart Paragon, and then I'm gonna buy the boomerangs for the boomerang one, right? So I got all of the tier 5s for the boomerang and the dart. They're gonna be, both of the paragons are gonna be on the left side. I'm not sure if you guys can see it in this mess. When we pop this one, things are gonna clear out a little bit, so you're gonna be able to see how things are going, right? But there you go. So kind of on the left of the VTSG, that's where both of our paragons are gonna be. At this point, I'm just spamming 042 darts. So this is kind of a very clean look of everything that's happening on screen. You can see all of the towers is very simple. We only have one DPS tower currently, and that is the VTSG, and all the other towers are just here to buff them, to buff the VTSG or to amplify the damage that it does to other towers. And we're going to be buying 2 more DPS towers. So, you know, all in all, it's just like 3 DPS towers. It's the VTSG and it's the 2 paragons, and then all of the rest of the towers are either buffing towers or damage amplifiers, right? So spamming 042 darts at this point, we have a lot of money. We are obviously over farming, but it is what it is. And now I'm going to, I think I'm going to buy like a few more darts and selling a few banks, and there we go. That's the dart paragon. I got degree 40, that's nice. And I'm going to rebuy the super brittle here near the paragon, just to kind of move it and to, you know, have it affect the Bloonarius closer to where it spawns. So getting a lot more 042 boomerangs. You know, this is just going to be the boomerangs for the boomerang paragon. So I'm not buying as many as I did for the dart one, because I really don't care about the degree that this one gets. I'm just, you know, at this point when you get the dart paragon, you basically won. I mean, everything's automated, right? The abilities are getting activated by themselves, and that's it. Now I made a little bit of a mistake and I sold my tech bot, so I had to click the abilities manually, but that's fine. And, you know, just to end things, I bought a support temple. So I sacrificed a spike factory. It was a 50 top pad spike factory. It doesn't matter as long as it's over 50k. You get the support temple, you upgrade its range, and it gives damage and attack speed to the VTSG. The paragons cannot be buffed by anything, but that's fine because they're very strong towers on their own. And there you go. That's how you beat this week's Elite Bloonarius. Very simple. I think the majority of the hard work was being done by the Druids, because the amount of money that they were able to give us in the mid game, and that just enabled us to do whatever we want. I mean, no tier was close. There was nothing, you know, for you guys to kind of pay specific attention to or to be wary of. It was just a very simple, very clean execution on basically on all tiers, right? So there you go. I think this is one of the earlier pops, around 129, and there it is. That is how you beat the Elite Bloonarius. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.